Hi guys, I'm doing this video now so I don't have to do it tomorrow when my kids are awake, and this one's about completing the square because I know I didn't like that kind of solving, so here we go. Alright, so completing the square. I call it CTS because I don't like writing things. Alright, so let's just make one up. Say you had, it's going to be awful. We did a 3 in class, so let's do a 4x squared plus 5x equals negative 6 plus x. Alright, so say that's the problem and we have to solve by completing the square. So remember, you want to get everything with x's on one side, and I usually do that on the left, and everything without an x on the other side. So I'm going to subtract x, and well, that ends up being, whoops, a 4x. Okay, so everything on the left on one side, everything without an x on the other side. So now remember to complete the square. If, remember, it all stems from ax squared plus bx plus c. If that a is not 1, the leading coefficient, then you have to divide everything by that number. And on Friday we did one where it was a 3, and it just so happened that 3 went into everything. Sorry, I keep getting text. Alright, so we get x squared plus x equals, I want to simplify that, that's negative 3 halves. Okay, I'm ready to go. Leading coefficient is 1. That's this number right here, remember. So now on the side, you do a little bit of side work. You're always doing b over 2 squared. B is the number in front of x, okay? And it's your new b, not the 5. It's this number right here. So what's your b? It's 1. So I'm putting 1 in for b. And now I'm squaring it. What's 1 squared? 1. What's 2 squared? 4. Remember, this number here is what you're adding to both sides. This number here is what is going to go into factored form with x. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to add 1/4 to both sides. And it is this process every time as long as you do it right. Okay, so I'll rewrite this again. I'm going to simplify. Here I go, doing math on the fly. So that's negative, I'm getting a common denominator right now if you don't know what I'm doing. So that's, I'm doing this over the side. Negative 6/4 plus 1/4. So it's going to be negative 5/4. Okay? So now you got to factor the left. That's the whole point of this. You made it into a perfect square trinomial, whether you believe it or not. So you could sit here all day and say, well, what are factors of a quarter that add to 1? But there is a trick. This number here, whatever the sign is, if it's positive, I write plus. If it's negative, I write negative. X plus 1/2 squared equals negative 5/4. So some of you right now might already know the answer. What is it? Okay, I won't say it. So say you didn't realize what the answer is. You have to keep going. To undo the square, you take the square root. Boom, cancel. X plus 1/2 equals, remember, plus or minus the square root of negative 5/4. Some of you now might see the answer. If you still don't see the answer, you have to get x by itself, so you're going to subtract 1/2 from both sides. And we get this. And if you have not seen the answer, you need to see it now. Hey guys, can we take the square root of a negative number? The answer is no. So what do I have to write? In this case, it's no solution. Okay, because of that negative under there. Great.